Hey everybody, Murray Gusseck here with my tap-off practice pad from Tapspace. Going to be doing a little product demo and showing you some of the cool things that you can do with this pad. It's essentially a gum rubber pad. The gum rubber is 3/16 inch thick, and with the base, which is a wood sort of synthetic wood base that we have, and the rim element, that thickness of gum rubber actually it's very bouncy, but it's also very articulate. So you can really get to the wood underneath to work on your sound quality. So the gum rubber is friendly, but it's not just complete loosey-goosey, no definition of sound. It's kind of a good middle of the road. And the biggest feature here is this black oval. I like to call it the Cyclops Eye. This is a dark matter material which was pioneered and developed by Off-World Percussion, the makers of the famous Invader practice pads, the glossy black pads that a lot of the marching drummers are using these days. So this is that same material poured into this oval shape, and it certainly is big enough for you to isolate and just play completely on it. But even better is it gives you the opportunity to isolate your hands from one another, and I find this very useful for all kinds of different reasons. So we can talk about some of those different reasons. The first would be for just hearing a different sound with one of your hands in order to bring out a rhythmic melody. Okay, so for instance, like you could take flam taps, for instance. Okay, flam taps. And flam tap variations with doing the threes and stuff like that. You can use the oval to actually play the first note of each flam tap rudiment on there and give yourself actually little rhythms, little rhythmic melodies that you can play. So instead of just by moving the hands in that fashion. Okay, so that's one really cool use. You can also, with younger students, or if you're just getting started yourself, you can use the black spot to actually train your natural sticking tendencies. Okay, so if you wanted to go learn how to play the natural stickings for these type of basic rhythms, and you wanted to learn what the natural sticking motion was going to be for those rhythms, you could actually play all of the notes and just use the black spot for a different sound for the particular rhythm that you're trying to learn. So it might sound like this. And in doing that, I would just be training myself through muscle memory to go, when I'm playing the downbeat, it's going to be my right hand. When I'm playing the of every one of those dotted 8/16 rhythms, it's going to be my left hand. So you could apply that to that exercise that I just went through. Okay, so it just gives you a little bit of a sound reinforcement through having that different surface. It's more articulate, and it's louder. So, we've got some teachers that are using these in their classrooms who have found that it works great for students at different levels to actually be able to have the more experienced students playing on the black, which is the more articulate and the louder surface, and have the kids who are, not as far along playing on the gum rubber in order to be a little bit quieter and a little less exposed type of thing. Okay, the other cool thing about this Cyclops Eye is that it doesn't have to be at the top, and I actually use it a lot by just turning the pad one way or the other depending on what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's say for instance I want to work some independence. This is another great use of a dual zone practice pad. Okay, if you want to work independence, then generally you could just do everything on the same surface. So like if I wanted to build up my chops by learning to play a bunch of different rhythms against, say, play a bunch of left-hand rhythms of my own choosing against that 3 pattern on the right hand, I could do it on one surface, but you're not getting any real sound feedback that kind of helps differentiate the two parts. So by turning this thing over here without having to reach, I can now play my right hand on the dark matter oval. And now when I play the left hand variations, now I've got the actual difference in sound. Or you might actually find that it's easier to reverse those roles. Flip the pad over here and play the right hand pattern on the gum rubber, the softer area, and then highlight your melody hand over here. Okay, so it helps. It's easy to do. You don't have to turn the pad over. You don't need more than one pad, and it's very easy. And lastly, about the tap-off, nice thing is that it's got this high-impact rim here. Okay, this thing is extremely durable, and you could pretty much throw this thing off a roof, and it probably would be okay. That is not an invite to do that. It's just saying that it's very durable, and it should last you a long, long time. So with marching sticks like these are the M Dogs from Vic Firth. I can whack out a shot, and the pad is going to be just fine. The stick may break after a while, but hopefully not. Or you can do cross stick stuff. If you're working on a cross stick pattern for a drum set part. And here again, I'm going to turn this oval back here, so I'm going to be like, this is going to be my hi-hat. This is my cross stick. Work some type of cross stick pattern in that regard. So these are some of the many uses for your top-off pad. Again, it's a great feel of gum rubber. That's really my favorite thing about the pad, is just the general feel of the gum rubber. But those little elements make it a very useful tool for practicing all different types of things. So check one out, and happy drumming.